and a forfeit at 125. And to start things off at 133, you see Jarrett Trombley, a two-time NCAA qualifier, was the 12th seed in the 2021 tournament. He's going to be getting things underway for NC State. 36 career wins, a redshirt sophomore for this fifth-ranked NC State side. And as you see the top 10 teams, obviously Iowa right now, the standard. We know what Penn State has done over the years. Chance maybe here for NC State to get themselves in that conversation among those top teams. It's going to be interesting. They were close against Iowa, had two one-point decision losses. They take one of those two. They end up beating Iowa in that matchup. So it's going to be interesting to see how they continue throughout the year.
Certainly. It's going to be a little tough to get over that Oklahoma State hump that's, ranked right above them in that number 4 spot. And, Michigan still not at full strength, obviously. Nick Sirianni hasn't made his Michigan debut as of yet, but people are really expecting a lot from Michigan this year with Michich coming back. And we're looking to just absolutely go fire from the top as Trombley scores the first takedown. It was either throw or be thrown in that position. No big fireworks, but we're going to get a first takedown here from Trombley. Rolled through here by Masters.
See Nick Masters for Princeton. He's a freshman from Ackworth, Georgia. He has competed in 11 matches this season, going 5-6. Went 3-1 at the Southeast Open, in which Princeton had 2 winners in that invitational.
Yeah, Masters trying to figure out a way to get out of this little predicament that he was in. Unfortunately, it's going to be a stalemate that's going to get him out of it, not scoring any points. But, Masters is a young kid, still trying to figure it out a little bit, trying to get things going here in his college career. I believe out of Georgia. I think he's a compound wrestling guy. I think he was in that camp as he rolls through looking for a Granby from his feet. Now trying to hit a switch here on Trombley.
So far, Trombley has shown the strength to really counter anything Masters has tried to do to get the escape, and has that right leg at the knee pinned. Masters unable to get to his feet. And well, it's interesting to see Jarrett Trombley right out of the gate get that takedown, but now continuing to work and maybe to try to get to the back.
Yeah, it was close to picking up a couple of points there on a tilt, but Masters able to belly down. You mentioned, Trombley sits on that ankle. He does. And I know referees have kind of made it a point to not allow guys to sit on that ankle and ride and try and get them to look for a turn. Here as Masters is up to his feet and going to roll out of bounds. But he was using it, right? He was sitting on it, but he was using it to get to that tilt and almost got the turn. So, you do see a lot of guys that will figure for that leg. It's one of the things that you see Glory do, keeping a guy's hip up off the mat and keeping his stomach down. He'll throw in that leg and figure for it. The way that Trombley was on it was he just had that ankle hooked here as Masters up to his feet. Very strong lift and return there by Trombley. And now Trombley going to stick in a leg and go to work here on top. Little cross body ride type of action here coming from Trombley.
In control with the takedown. He's nearly got himself about 2 minutes of riding time in this opening period. And for Nick Masters, he's just trying to find a way against a very strong NC State competitor.
Locking up here, a cradle here is Trombley, getting a couple of swipes. That shoulder too high off the mat, so not going to get the fall. Definitely going to get the full allotment on that 4 back points.
And it's just a crafty move to get the turn, and at this point, kind of almost trying to just wait out these last 10 seconds if you're Masters, because in this type of situation in a dual meet, for those who maybe a little bit more thinking about the individual side, you're thinking team side here. You don't want to cede those 6 points for the fall. You'll take 3, 4, or 5 if you're not going to get the victory, and that's why you continue to keep fighting even when trailing.
Yeah, no, Masters, he grabbed that bottom leg of Trombley, kept his hips close, and that's what kept his shoulder up and off the mat as Masters going to go back underneath here to start the second. But, by keeping that hip rolled up underneath, it wasn't allowing any space, and that's kind of what you need there. You want that knee in the side to really flatten a guy's shoulders out, and he wasn't able to do that with Masters holding on to that leg. Now, Masters hitting a roll through here, back in that same situation he was in the first period, with Trombley holding on kind of with a leg in and kind of across the body. Masters trying to get a little hip escape here. Nothing doing as of yet Probably going to get another stalemate. Reaching for the head here is Masters. And a little side headlock, and we're going to get 2 on the reversal.
Masters, Princeton.
What did you see there from Masters to just get that opening to get the 2? Because Trombley, he's shown his strength in terms of keeping that control, but just a little slip there, a little ability for Masters to get that 2.
So it was the side headlock that really did it there for Masters to get the reversal. It was a quick reversal because as soon as he was there, he was already out, and Trombley coming back with a reversal of his own. At least that's what he called. I think he may have waved it up. No,
he did give the 2
He did
there.
give the 2, but it was that side headlock that actually did it for him and allowed him to get that hip escape. Once he started to kind of apply pressure to the head and neck of Trombley, it kind of made him flatten out a little bit, and Masters got up a little bit high. As you saw, his hips came up in the air, and then that's what allowed Trombley to escape and come back around and score the reversal, and now he's back in control with an 8-2 lead and over 3 minutes of riding time. So riding time just about all locked up here. It's going to take kind of a Herculean effort for Masters in the third to get rid of that riding time point, but
it might be clinched here in the next few seconds.
Completely.
And in that situation, you're thinking about potentially 7, 8, 9 point difference, depending on what happens moving forward here. Now, I will do the quick math. It is at this point locked in the 1 point for Trombley, 3:32 riding time with 2:24 left to go in the match overall. So that's going to be a 9th point in the pocket here for Trombley. Masters would love to get an escape late here or turn to the mat, though. Try to get a rollout there, Masters, but Trombley again, he's just so strong at 133, his frame, but Masters continues to battle back.
Yeah, headhunting on that. Oh, nice peek out there by Trombley. No 2 as of yet, and time going to run out here in the second. But yeah, Masters looking for that Granby on the mat return, kind of put himself in a little bit of a bad position, was able to recover, and then reached up for that head and was able to come around and score the escape. And then, Trombley on that peek out wasn't able to score, but very savvy move there by Trombley. Trombley's going to go underneath here to start the third.
North Carolina State bottom, Masters, Princeton.
It did look like they awarded Masters a point.
They did give him. They did give him the escape point
when
he went. Headhunt on that and was able to circle out. They did give him a point for that escape, and he's on top. Nice little return there as Trombley was up to his feet, blocking off, pinching those knees together as Trombley underneath. His Masters trying to stick a leg in, has control of that toe. Nicely done there by Masters here on top still to maintain control. Almost had a couple of swipes, and as I was saying before, I didn't think that, we were going to really see Masters try and ride out here in the third period, mostly because he was down so much. You would probably think he'd want to go up top, try and get a throw or something like that. But he's doing a pretty good job here. Like you said, he's not going to erase the riding time, but maybe he gets a turn. Maybe he gets a couple of turns and gets right back into this one as he's only down by 5 points.
Yeah, he's going to need a 4 and a 2 to even things up here against Jarrett Trombley, who he wants to work his way back into the Intermat rankings. NC State with 8 probables ranked per Intermat, but Trombley, again, he was the 12th seed at 133 just in the last spring in 2021, and he's still hanging on to this 8-3 lead with less than a minute to go. So now this is really crunch time for Masters if you want to try to get the late comeback victory.
Yeah, I think you ride for maybe another 10, 15 seconds. See if you can get a leg in, get a turn, something like that. Maybe a cheap tilt here off the whistle. If you can't, maybe he lets him up, goes for a throw, something. But I don't see him, riding out the next 48 unless he can continue to, control things like this and eventually get a turn.
Now, he did have that escape late in the second, which was awarded, which does give him the ability to release and still not concede from a decision to a major decision. Reversal, though, would get Trombley a chance, 4 points for NC State. So we go down to the final 30 seconds here, and let's see how it plays out.
And trying to give up just the 1 here is Masters. And he is actually going to give up the 1 instead of the 2. And we're going to get a locked hands call also on Masters. So 10-3, make that 11-3. Going to be probably our final score. Maybe not here. Trombley's still hunting for points.
And those locked hands, the difference between NC State getting 3 points and getting a 4 on the major decision. So the final here at 133 is going to be Trombley 11 and Masters 3. And overall, an interesting matchup from the Masters perspective. He was able to have some good things, but Trombley just more experienced and a bit more stout in terms of his strength from the court.
Yeah, that first period cradle is definitely kind of the deciding factor, right? Puts him out front, very, very big, and he just goes on to, put on a tough ride and continue to score points and get that win.